Welcome back to For the Record. This week, Middleton Mayor Emily Kuhn launched her re-election bid, but before serving as mayor, she was on the Middleton City Council for 5 years. We sat down one-on-one with her to hear if her priorities are the same as the first time she ran. So first of all, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Do you want to make your first pitch to voters as they're hearing you run for your re-election?
Oh, I'm so excited to be running again. I am so proud of city staff for all that they've done, for all of our good neighbors who've come out and just been excited to attend events and support each other. One of the best things that I'm proud of is helping save 1,800 jobs and keeping our largest employer here in the state and working across party lines to get that passed in the TIF in the legislature.
And so last time you ran, one of your priorities was housing, especially affordable housing. Is that something you're still looking at for a second go around?
Absolutely. Next year we will be releasing over $5 million in affordable housing, possibly more due to our TIF closure. And in the meantime, we've added to the supplies. So part of affordability is to make sure that there are options up and down the price line, and to encourage our empty nesters to consider a smaller footprint so they can go do things like community events and traveling, but making room for those families trying to move in.
And so Dane County is expected to grow to about 900,000 residents by 2050. So growth is a really big issue here. How, as the city of Middleton, are you kind of forward-thinking, trying to keep up with that growth in housing?
It's a great question. We are trying to take a balanced approach. Previously, we focused a lot on density, and we still are supportive of density, but we're also trying to make more options in the market for that home buyer. And so we are taking that two-prong approach and making sure we are getting some apartments in, but leaning into those townhomes, single-family homes, and condos in that smaller housing footprint. The other thing we have to do is make sure that we have robust jobs and our businesses are supported to, have that growth and people working close to home, rather than putting people to the streets and adding to commute times.
And so kind of talking about transportation, that kind of goes hand in hand with growth. What are you doing to keep up with public transportation?
Oh, yeah. So one of the things I did, I wrote a housing survey because my background is in public policy and economic development, to ask how many people are driving, how many prefer walking, biking, taking mass transit. Mass transit's about 5% of our users, but when we did our survey about 2 years ago, it was a good third of our population was teleworkers some time of the week. So they actually are walking and biking to the grocery store or dropping their kids off. So we are trying to incorporate that to make those safe street crossings, because at the end of the day, if they're not taking their car, it's better for the environment.
And so I wanted to ask too, last year the city appointed a new chief of police. So what has been going well in the police department, and what are things that you would like to see work on?
Oh, they are doing such a great job. The new chief is taking that leadership role and embracing it. He is definitely bringing his team together. They were already a great team. And I just encourage them to do more community events, for which they were excited to do. They're doing great, and they're making sure those schools' safety corridors are protected. It's one of the things I'm working on as mayor for my budget this year, is to make sure our crossings are safe near those elementary schools, and getting our public works folks out there to make sure it's up to date, but also making sure our police are nearby and visible.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mayor, for sitting down with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
That was Middleton Mayor Emily Kuhn sitting down with us. Now, the election will be April 7th of next year. Now let's move to Madison's mayor. This week, Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway announced $1 million from her operating budget will go to Madison's new homeless shelter. The shelter on Madison's east side is expected to be done in early 2026, but is facing funding issues to get it up and running. Combined with the funding drawn from the Community Development Division's existing budget, it would bring the city of Madison's contribution to the shelter operations for next year's budget to an unprecedented $1.7 million if approved by the Common Council.
We must unlock that potential. That means coming up with more than $4 million that it will take to operate this shelter 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
And for the record, we'll be right back after this.